Is this thing on? Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of The Jace Perspective. I am your host, a terrible Ash Jace. And please keep in mind that we are here to have fun, no more, no less. If we agree, wonderful. And if we don't, then we don't. All right. So let us go ahead. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic.
You ain't shit. You ain't shit.
Friends. How many of us have them? Ones you can depend on. What about your friends? If you ask me, friends is too loose of a term that's being used too freely, too loosely, and this is the exact reason why a lot of people get hemmed up in situations that they could have totally avoided, okay? So what I see in this video clip is a hating ass bitch who would set up the other young lady at the drop of a dime if she had the chance. If she hasn't already, okay? So often when we trust people, we don't see their true intentions. We don't see their true feelings toward us, especially if we call ourselves being close to them, okay? If you notice, if you ever pay attention to comments that people will make underhanded hater comments, often with the term afterward, like, I was just playing with you. They'll attach that real quick to the end of their underhanded comment just to throw you off the trail, okay, of the frenemy who is posing as the sister type or the bestie, or my favorite wolf in sheep's clothing term, the girl's girl. Oh, be real careful of them, okay? All right. So, and I know there's going to be a lot of people there's going to be a lot of people that might not like what I'm about to say, but women are the biggest haters of women, despite what most will try to convince you of, okay? Women hate other women more than anyone else hates women, bar none. Go argue with your mama. Go talk to the wall. It has been proven too many times, okay? In the video, I see a female who waited on the chance to embarrass their friend the best way they could, okay? Perhaps the young lady with the red hair was receiving more attention than the other chick who threw her in the pool. Perhaps just the sheer presence of the young lady who got thrown in the pool by the hating ass bitch just aggravated the jealous monster that was inside of her. Okay? Who knows? All I know is that shit wasn't cool in the least, and she needs to get her head ripped off at one point. Hopefully at one point during that trip, the redhead that got thrown in the pool wore a hole in the other girl's ass. Absolutely. Okay? She didn't care about her in any capacity. Hence her deciding to randomly toss her in the pool when she least expected it, ruining her phone. Water and phones do not go together. All right? See, on trips like cruises, a person's cell phone is basically their lifeline. Without that phone, numbers are lost, because we all know in this day and age, no one is memorizing all these phones. You're just not going to do that. Okay, so without that phone, numbers are lost. Information can't be accessed until the phone gets dry. If the phone gets dry, okay, we on a cruise trip. What if there's no rice? Like the whole thing is you put your phone in rice, it dries basically faster. But yeah, and let's just say that the phone dries and is not fully functioning because it just wasn't. You don't know with stuff like electronics, okay? So if you watch the actions of the female who threw the other girl into the pool, she waited until she was off guard. Okay, therefore, the young lady that was the victim could not stop what was happening because of how quickly it happened and how quickly she was caught off guard. Okay, and clearly it was not received well by the young lady who got thrown into the pool by this so-called friend. Okay, because she said she was going to beat her up when she got out of the pool. Okay, you can also hear a young man's voice in the background to tell the young lady that threw the other one into the pool that she wasn't shit. And if you notice, everyone is looking at her like she has 15 heads. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Okay, it wasn't cute. And actions like that will get you hurt very badly once that person recovers from what you did to them, depending on who you do things like that to. Another thing to pay attention to with females like that is your own personal safety. Females like that mean you absolutely no good, okay? They wait and they plot. They look for moments like this to cause hurt and possibly death. And they would lose no sleep over your demise. Actually, that would make them happy if something really bad were to happen to whomever they feel they have a rivalry with, whomever they are jealous of, okay? Let's not forget about the young woman who was murdered in 2022 in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, by the name of Shanquella Robinson, okay? This young lady went on a trip with friends only to end up in a body bag. There was video of her. I don't know if you all remember during this case, but there was a video of her basically fighting the other young lady in the room. And she ended up with in case you don't remember, I will reiterate, she ended up with a spinal cord injury and an atlas luxation, better known as a broken neck. But those were her friends she went on a trip with. That whole type of situation was very sad. And what was even more sad was that the federal prosecution could not, they were not able to bring charges against Shanquella's so-called friends due to there not being enough evidence. Rest in peace, Shanquella. So something like that only shows, and when I say something like that, I mean the fact that this never went farther than it should have because they didn't have enough evidence. What that does is it shows jealous bitches who pose as friends that they can get away, very possibly, with heinous actions toward other women. Okay? So just remember, frenemies are the worst thing you can have in your life. They present themselves as loving and caring, but they actually harbor feelings of jealousy, resentment, and rivalry, which will cause them to inflict damage any way they see fit. So, be careful out here in these friendship streets. A demon will present themselves as an angel any chance they get. And just like that, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.